Hello everyone, welcome to JLL Real Talk, where we explore the latest trend and insight about the commercial real estate market. I'm Trang, and in today's episode, we are talking about office market as 2024 draws to a close. Joining us is Will Tran, the head of Office Leasing Advisory at JLL Vietnam. He will share with us his insight in the key market trend, market performance, and also 2025 outlook. Will, we are eager to hear your expert analysis on the market. Let's dive in.
Thank you.
As we approach the end of the year of 2024, how has the office performed? And are we in for any surprise by the year end?
The market's performed very well, actually. Better than initial predictions from last year. Absorption itself currently just over 115,000 square meters. To put that in context of previous years, past 5 years and not including COVID, market net absorption has typically been around 30,000 square meters for grade A. So year to date, to see so much leasing activity amongst the new supply, it is very, very encouraging and record breaking as well. But that, of course, with that said, the new supply that's coming, unprecedented amount of new supply, that takes down the net absorption a little bit. So average net absorption has halved. However, that doesn't paint the brighter picture that the market is truly showing, which is very encouraging.
Okay. Every year brings us unique flavor to the market. What trends have been really catch your eye in 2024, and why do you think that they gain that traction?
First and foremost, key trend is flight to quality. We predicted that from last year, and it's really shown through. Unprecedented amount of supply of 4 new buildings the market's never seen, and the occupancy rates of those buildings now are very, very high. Majority is 70%, 80%. So what we've seen there is a lot of companies have invested heavily in Vietnam, as opposed to the initial prediction where we will potentially see some headwinds, where multinational companies were potentially tightening their purses basically to be as efficient as possible to counter those headwinds. But actually, the trends that we've seen here, all of the leasing activities have been dominated by technology companies. Technology, banking, healthcare, pharmaceutical, manufacturing, and of course e-commerce, but that can sort of go into technology. If we're looking at the key statistics of the leasing activities of year to date, the past 9 months, in the lead, in terms of country-wise, it's Germany, Korea, American companies, and Vietnamese companies, surprisingly, which is great for the local market, local economy. In terms of the quantity of companies, actually, then you will see a little bit of a change. Then Japanese companies lead the charge with the most amount of companies making movements and upgrading their offices. Then followed by Vietnam, Korea, and then the American companies, and then closely follow that UK companies. And then if we're talking about by sectors, though, that is really key because the ones that lead it is technology, banking, and finance, the 3 typically put together, and then followed by manufacturing and then healthcare. But yeah, these are very, very interesting trends, but also following prediction, what we actually initially predicted last year.
Very interesting for all of the listener. If they follow our Real Talk, they will see that technology, service and banking industry has been repeatedly in all of the episode. From my point of view, I also thinking that it's going to be the trends for the next, not just the next year, but also the next 3 or 5 years to come. Okay, crystal ball time. As we're looking ahead of 2025, what are the key trends and your outlook for the next year in terms of the office market?
I think this year pretty much sets the tone for the next year, and hopefully our predictions are going to be correct again. I think for our market, it's the big keyword right now, isn't it? The trending topic is artificial intelligence. With all of the sectors that's dominated the leasing activities in the market, these are all sort of whatever sectors they are, it's their technology and research and development entity that are actually really growing that demand for the office space. So we see that being continued. We're seeing a lot of multinational corporations. And speaking of that, in Vietnam, there's only about 30% of the current Fortune 500 companies. And we expect, and we are speaking to few of those that are continually looking at Vietnam, what they're doing, what are the competitors doing, and especially for the technology landscape of Vietnam, government authority, what they're doing, making Vietnam much more sort of an attractive investment location, bolstering tech with so much technology talent pool here at the moment, and potential future 50,000 new graduates every year coming in. And making this a very favorable landscape for technology companies to come in and really see Vietnam as a hub to service regional and global their other offices basically on a global landscape. Probably will see the same amount of transaction sizes, where in the last 10 years compared to this year, we've seen the average leases transaction basically double in size. Now averaging is about 1,500 square meters. 10 years ago, this market's always just seen 500 to 700 was a big lease basically. But with that said, that sort of covers over what the big transactions of this year has been, which a lot of them were close to 10,000 square meters. So hopefully that will continue, such as our discussions now with a lot of global clients and partners, and they're all exploring Vietnam. So even with the new supply coming in next year, which then increases the stock and supply, and of course new green and sustainable supply, which the market's continually demanding for, we see the market doing fantastically well for next year. So fingers crossed.
Well, thank you for the invaluable insight. You clearly outlined the opportunity and also the possible constraint for the office market in the next year. So to our listener, tenant and investor alike, adaptability and strategic planning are definitely important moving forward. This is Trang concluding another episode of JLL Real Talk. See you next time.